Coach, second season has begun. Talk about how you're feeling about the team going into the playoffs.
Well, just really excited and proud of our guys, our players, and our coaching staff. Anytime you can finish the regular season undefeated and win an outright conference title, that's a really special thing to happen. It doesn't happen all the time. I think it's the 23rd conference title in program history, the 14th time in program history we've gone undefeated. So that's our first goal, and then excited about starting the second season. You know, it's the 27th consecutive year that we've qualified for the playoffs, which is tied for second or third longest in the state, which is something we're really proud of. And I think our 9-0 season was a result of a great winter, great spring, summer, and how we practice all year long. But now that really doesn't matter anymore. Everybody's 0-0 as you win the playoffs, and it's kind of starting fresh and new. But I know something we're excited about and looking forward to.
Hey, talk about the tradition of the program. How much do you talk about that with each team that kind of comes along?
I mean, we talk about it initially when we begin things like, hey, you're a part of something special.
Yeah.
You're a part of a very successful program that was in really good hands for a lot of years. Coach Tharp, Coach McIntyre, I was here with Coach Venerable, Coach Temples, and really you feel like your job is to try to maintain the standard of excellence and find your own unique ways to enhance that, and I think every team has done that. We don't talk about it all the time. We'll talk about it when we accomplish those things, like when we finally qualified for the playoffs. The first time we talked about 27 or 28 years in a row, that's the first time we mentioned it. And when we won the outright Big 12 titles, then we talk about that. But then it's really, you got to be on to the next thing and preparing for Argo and putting your best game plan forward and your best week of practice forward to date. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish.
Interesting with the playoff bracket and the seeding. You pick up the number one seed, but expectations and so on and so forth that comes with that.
Yeah, I think, we knew we were going to be the 1 or 2 seed based on going 9-0, and we knew it was going to come down to how the Mount Carmel Loyola game went, and Loyola beat them, so that moved us to the 1 seed, which is really only based on your record and playoff, the victories of your teams you played. It's not a subjective ranking. It only takes into 2 components. Still proud of it. Still think that puts a target on your back. I still think people probably have an opinion of us based on where we're located in the state and whether or not we're worthy of something like that. But it really doesn't matter. We still need to continue to be the best version of ourselves, practice with great effort, with great purpose, and find ways to still continue to improve this week. And I don't think we don't think we've played our best football. We hope our best football is still in front of us.
Yeah, and anytime a bracket is thrown at you, tendency for everybody to kind of look forward. But I'm assuming it's one game at a time still for this group and your coaching staff.
Absolutely. We don't change our week-to-week approach, even in the playoffs. We don't change how we practice. We might gain some time because we don't have sophomores going on, but it's still everything is about being the best version of ourselves, preparing and practicing the right way to get ready to play Argo on Friday, and all we're talking about is beating them. We're not worried about anything else because it doesn't matter. All we're guaranteed is this week and this Friday, and our goal is to take care of business, so hopefully we can advance. If you're looking ahead, you're doing a disservice to your team, your program, your players, and it's disrespectful to the opponent who's earned the right to be in there.
Congrats on an undefeated record and outright Big 12 title. Those are 2 of the team goals you laid out at the start of the season. The last was to hang a banner. What will it take for the Ironmen to bring a banner home?
I think to hang a banner home, it's 3 things. 1, we got to have a great week of practice this week. And number 2, we have to perform well and play our best version of football on Friday. And 3, we have to win this week. We really haven't talked about that other than at the beginning of the year about what some of our goals have been. It's just now about this week and putting yourself in a position to be successful on Friday night, to have the opportunity to play the next week. So we won't talk about anything of a banner to, wherever in that position where we're playing for one.
The Iron has spent little time playing without, or not playing with a lead this season, scoring fast and frequently every game, and even less time trailing an opponent. So how important is it for the Iron to set the tone and tempo and start strong offensively on Friday?
Well, I think it's extremely important, not just for us, but for anybody. Everybody wants to come out of the gate fast, offensively, defensively, and special teams, and you always want to be playing from a position of lead, and we hope that's something that we can continue to do. However, I do have confidence in our group of guys, our players, our coaches, that if that were not to happen, we would be fine. just because if you're a good team and you think you're special, you still have to handle those ways, especially in with being steady, especially in times of adversity. So hopefully it doesn't happen. You hope you're always playing in the league and always winning and you win games. But if it does, I feel like we'll handle it well. But we won't know till we get there. Again, I don't think we've been in where we've trailed since week 1. And I'm not sure we even trailed week 1.
We had that game against Peoria. We were down 8-7 in the first quarter.
Correct, yeah. Yes, we were down week 4, correct. They scored first.
Coach, talk a little bit about the playoffs. One of the exciting things is you're playing different teams, new teams outside your region, so on and so forth. So talk about the enjoyment, but also the difficulty preparing for opponents that you just don't see on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think the enjoyment first starts out as it's special to make the playoffs in high school football because not everybody gets to do it, unlike all the other sports. And you want to feel blessed and lucky that you're practicing this week when a lot of people are turning in equipment. You're right. The last couple of years, we played different opponents every week, which is fun. You get to go visit different places that you've never been, but you're unfamiliar with your opponent, and it really requires you to dive deep in the limited amount of film that you have to prepare yourself for the best way. And you know your opponents are doing the exact same thing with you. I think that's the challenge of it, but that's also the fun part of it. You feel like you don't ever get to take a breath. You're just constantly working. Hopefully when you win or you take care of business, it's just on to the next one to get ready to play. So it's really fun. It's exciting. I know our players look forward to it. It's really something special about the game of football in the state of Illinois and one we feel really lucky to be a part of.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that, of the joy in the journey. How do you celebrate moments, but at the same time, you're preparing for the next step? It can be difficult to blend those two together at times.
Yeah, it is difficult. I think it's somewhat easier. I don't know how to say this. In the regular season, you know who you're playing next. So as soon as you win, you're really right into prep mode. Sometimes in the playoffs, like you win Friday, we have no clue who we're playing.
Yeah.
So we get to enjoy that just a little bit. And in the playoffs, that can be true as well. Because the team you're playing may not play till Saturday. But in most cases, you're preparing right away. But that's the fun of the grind of the postseason. You know that you're going to be working hard and working long hours and working 7 days a week, which we do anyway. But you know there's some really special and unique rewards that lay in front of you if you do those things. So we always, everybody says you'll rest when, when hopefully you'll rest when the season's over, but not now. There's no time to rest now.
So at this point, we're doing the interview. You're basically 3 days from knowing who your opponent is coming up on Friday. So how much do you know about Argo at this point as you're kind of in your preparation for that game?
So teams still exchange film in the playoffs, and like we do in the regular season. So we got film on them on Saturday night after we found out the pairing. So Saturday night and Sunday morning was spent breaking down film. We met as an offensive staff Sunday from 4 to 8, defensively from 7:30 to 10:30. So we've dove into their film and have them broken down, have game plans in place. They were 4-4 going into week 9, right. So they had to win to get in. So they were playing playoff football from the get-go. So they've been playing that mindset and that environment for a week longer than we have. Offensively, they run the ball really well, really good at gap scheme runs, power, counter. Their running back runs hard. Their quarterback's dynamic. They got some guys that can throw to, and they really get off the ball up front. Defensively, they're an odd front. Their 2 inside linebackers are really good, physical downhill players. Their defensive linemen eat up space, and their secondary's got some athletes that do a good job keeping a lid on it. They have a really good kicker. Kicker kicks a lot of touchbacks, which is good. They have dynamic returners. So just like you would expect, you're going to play a team that's good in all 3 phases, and we're going to have to prepare appropriately and put our best forward on Friday night to be successful.
First round playoff game, so what do you feel is a key there to get the victory against Argo?
I think one is how we practiced this week. Practice is going to be a huge determining factor on how we play. Those things show up, as you guys all know. The weather could be an issue, so taking care of the football I think is going to be at a premium. And then I think allowing our players to make plays, getting the ball in space to operate, not allowing them to do that, and winning the special teams battle. I think if you can do those 3 things, practice well, handle the conditions, allow your guys to make plays, and prevent them from doing that, I think you put yourself in a pretty good position to win on a Friday.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you guys for all the coverage. It's great.